Thompson's Water Seal is a tinted sealer and sunblock that enhances the look of your deck and provides long-lasting exterior wood protection against the toughest elements. A gallon of transparent sealer is only $20.98 after 11% rebate now at Menards. Good through June 26th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
A turnaround for corn and soybeans. This is Hoosier Ag Today. I'm CJ Miller with your Friday midday farm market update, brought to you by Seed Genetics Direct.
On-air line is now open for your calls or texts at 219-362-0522. This is Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
Hello, friends. It is a beautiful Friday here in Laporte, Indiana. Welcome to Sound Off. Glad to have you with us. Today is Friday, June 24th. And for the next half hour to 40 minutes, we're going to have a conversation about what's happening in your community and how you can maybe have a better understanding of different organizations and people that are impacting the world around you. Today, in our monthly nonprofit spotlight on Sound Off, we'll discuss services for persons with disabilities, seniors and their families with Paladin CEO Steve Hobby and Development and Marketing Officer Melissa Bohacek. Melissa and Steve, how are you guys?
Oh, doing great today, Nate.
Good.
Thanks
how are you,
having
Melissa?
I'm great. Thanks.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about Paladin. If obviously, Steve, you're the CEO and you probably get asked this a lot. Tell me what Paladin does in a minute or less, right? And it's like, how do I even say all the things we do? But essentially, what does Paladin do for our community of listeners that don't know?
Sure, and it's funny because I've been asked what's our elevator speech,
Yep.
and it's really hard to give. But we are a service provider. We work with individuals diagnosed with intellectual delays. We have a multitude of services we provide to them. We also support seniors. We do a non-emergency medical transportation to and from doctor's appointments. We go to their doorstep and take them to the doctor's appointment, take them back home. And then we also have early childhood education programs where we have the Laporte County Head Start program, as well as a preschool called Imagination Station up on Cool Springs in Michigan City.
That is a lot. And it seems like a couple different things. Am I right to say Paladin has grown quite a bit over the last couple of years and maybe taking on some other nonprofits and kind of assume them as one? Is that right?
The Paladin as a whole is a combination of three non-for-profits. Originally, we were Parents and Friends. They were in Laporte, Michiana Resources in Michigan City. And then we also have the Arc Northwest. We have all of their services they provided to folks with intellectual delays in Lake County. So all of those merged to become Paladin, and then we took on what was called the Child Care Consortium, and that's where the Laporte County Head Start program, as far as our preschool, came in.
Now, Melissa, you started working there, I think, in January. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what brought you into this work?
Okay, so I have a daughter that has Down syndrome, and so it's always been special to me. As a parent with an individual with a disability, you become early advocate for them. You have to learn all of the things that you never knew that you had to learn before. And so I had some of that. And I had been in the nonprofit world for about 15 years prior to this. And so very early on, right out of college, I worked at a group home called Goodwill Residential in Columbus, Ohio, because I graduated from The Ohio State University.
Which is now, I think, officially the Ohio State University.
State University, yes. And so we, it was a really, really great opportunity for me. I think that must have been a reason why I was there. I didn't feel qualified to do that at that time, right out of college, but we had 23 residents, varying degrees of abilities, and I learned so much. I didn't end up doing that work early on. I sort of went into the newspaper business. I did a couple of other things and then landed at a nonprofit in Lake County. So then, I saw that this opportunity became available. It was in my hometown. It was serving a population that I was familiar with and passionate about. And I thought, I'll just apply and see what happens. And luckily it worked out. And it's just been a really great experience. So I'm grateful for that.
So the majority, so you are affiliated now with the Head Start programs, right?
That's correct.
I guess what I know Paladin from is certainly partnering with families and individuals who are navigating developmental or different emotional disabilities, these kind of things, and the work that you've done. I've seen such great work from Paladin on this. So you house, if I'm right, because again, there's such a wide swath of things that you do, but if I'm right, do you also have housing for those? And can you talk a little bit about that as well? Because I think housing crisis, we talk about housing. You actually have housing for people with developmental disabilities, correct?
We do. We currently have programs we call Butterfly, where homes were built specifically to serve individuals diagnosed with intellectual delays. And there are 6 homes there, and we have anywhere from 2 to 3 individuals that live in each of those homes, and then the staff that supports them. We also have some, traditionally they were called group homes. They're technically intermediate care facilities for folks diagnosed with intellectual delays. And we converted those to be more of a community-based program versus that ICF model that we were doing before. And those homes right now are also homes where we serve individuals to live in the community as independently as possible. But housing in general is a real issue for our folks. We don't have enough housing to support the people that all need homes. And the most challenging are folks that use wheelchairs, because we need accessible homes, and it's very difficult to find an accessible home or apartment that suits their needs. And we have one person right now that is the key example. He's diagnosed with cerebral palsy. His mental faculties are, I often tell people he's smarter than I am, because he can tell you everything that's going on in the world, but we can't move him into his own place because we can't find an accessible housing to put him in.
So what if you don't mind me asking, what happens then if there's no place to go, correct? I mean, so what happens when there's not enough housing?
In this particular situation, he continues to live in a situation he shouldn't be in, because it's for folks that need a lot more support than he does. He just has the physical disabilities. So then they're not placed in an area where they need to be.
Now, as a whole, is this an issue that you think local, state, federal governments understand well, or is it something you would prefer to see a little bit more focus on? Because again, as we all know, sometimes the squeakiest wheel gets the attention, right? And when you're dealing with a demographic and a group of people that might not have the squeakiest wheels, they can sometimes get forgotten about easiest, correct? So do you find that, is there been enough support there governmentally, and what would you tell any of our leaders maybe listening about what maybe they should know?
Okay. There was a task force. Suzanne Crouch, our lieutenant governor, actually headed that. And part of that conversation was affordable, accessible housing. So I know the state has taken a hard look at it, but they still struggle finding landlords or people that are willing to buy homes and to convert them to be accessible for folks. So it continues to be a challenge.
Yeah, and so I can understand, again, like I said, advocacy then is probably important to what you guys do as well, having these conversations, but also talking to the right people to hopefully get the attention there, that there are groups of people that might not have as loud of a voice as others, and we certainly don't want to forget about them. So we've got, we're talking to Paladin CEO Steve Hobby and Development and Marketing Officer Melissa Bohacek. you have a question, you're welcome to call us. The Liquor Vault on air line is 219-362-0522. Maybe you have a question about Paladin and what they do. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to talk about a grant they received from the county, about facility stuff in a little while. But if you have a question, you're welcome to call or text that line, 219-362-0522. If you're streaming with us online, you're welcome to put your comments in the Facebook or YouTube, or just email me at soundoff@967theeagle.com. We're going to take our first break of the day. We'll be right back here in a few minutes, only on 96.7 The Eagle.
Ben Conowitz here, owner of Laporte Seamless Gutter. My parents started Laporte Seamless Gutter in 1982 with one goal in mind, really. Our customers' 100% satisfaction. And we are still providing the same customer service that Tim and Seal Conowitz started all those years ago. Give us a call today for a free estimate at 219-362-9972, or you can visit us on the web, www.lpseamless.com. 219-362-9972.
Good news, Surf Fiber Internet is growing in Laporte. Get 1 gig speed with a free whole home Wi-Fi router for only $65 a month. There's no hidden fees, no contracts, and free installation. They are building out more neighborhoods every day. So visit surffiber.com to check your address for service, or call 844-955-SURF for more details. That's 844-955-SURF. This is a limited time offer. Speeds may vary and some restrictions apply.
U-Pick season is in full force right now at Garwood's. Now available at the U-Pick, raspberries and sweet cherries. And don't wait, these sweet cherries won't last long. Starting Monday, June 27th, Malwina strawberries will be ready at the Garwood U-Pick. They are the darkest red and best flavored berry, a must pick. And right now in the market or in U-Pick, buy 3 containers of fresh picked strawberries and get your 4th container for free. Also on special, homegrown Indiana blueberries, 5-pound box for $22.95. Indiana homegrown zucchini, just $1.49 per pound. Red raspberries, $5.50 a pint or 4-pint box for just $19.95. And beginning Monday the 27th in the bakery, it's blueberry donuts and homemade red raspberry pies. Garwood Farm Market and Bakery, open daily from 9 until 6. U-Pick opens daily at 9, weather permitting. Check GarwoodOrchard.com, the Garwood Facebook page, or call Garwood for the most current picking conditions and to find out what's available before you make the trip to Garwood's on 50 South, past Pinola.
Bring the family out for this year's 176th Laporte County Fair. The fair will open the gates for an exciting full week of great music, fantastic food, and lots of family fun on Saturday, July the 9th. Want to skip the long lines? Stop into the fair office and purchase your gate admission or season pass before the fair starts. This year you can get some of the family favorite shows like the Curious Kids Trail, the Rodeo, the Demolition Derby, the Figure 8 Demolition Derby, and much more. Plus, you asked for it and they listened. New this year, free entertainment in the grandstand. Thursday, July the 14th, it's the Beach Bum Band with special guests, the Rock Doctors. The show starts at 7:30 and it's free with a paid admission to the fair. Then on Saturday, July the 16th, No Fences, a Garth Brooks tribute band with special guest Cripple Creek. This show starts at 7 p.m. and it's also free to attend with a paid admission to the fair. You and your family will find plenty of fun and exciting things to do at this year's 176th Laporte County Fair. Visit lpfair.com for more information.
I'm Dr. Justin LaFollette from Hero Pet Animal Hospital with a pet tip. Plants can be a great way to brighten up your home, but some can pose a serious threat to pets. Lilies are beautiful, but even a small amount of any piece of this plant can be extremely toxic to your feline friend. Before bringing plants into your home, always research if they are safe for pets. We are here to answer any of your questions. Please call Hero Pet Animal Hospital at 219-515-4376.
Have an anniversary coming up? Enter the Tradio Anniversary Club. Every weekday at 9:30 a.m., we read all the anniversaries for the day, and every Friday, one lucky couple will receive a $20 gift certificate to Tony Floral and Gifts. To enter, go to 967theeagle.com and click the Submit tab and enter your information right there. Or write the couple's name, address, phone number, and anniversary date on a 3x5 card and mail it or drop it off here at the Radio Center, 1700 Lincoln Way Place, Suite 5. The Tradio Anniversary Club, every weekday at 9:30 a.m. on 96.7 The Eagle.
Michiana weather.
90 this afternoon, under sunny skies, southeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight, 63. Slight chance for scattered rain showers tomorrow, 89. From the Weather Center at hometownnewsnow.com. Right now, 85.
Your opinion matters. We invite you to share it by calling or texting the Liquor Vault on air line at 362-0522. That's 362-0522. 0522. Now, back to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
Welcome back, friends. My name is Nate Laux. You're listening to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle. Today in our monthly nonprofit spotlight on Sound Off, we're discussing services for persons with disabilities, seniors, and their families with Paladin CEO Steve Hobby and Development and Marketing Officer Melissa Bohacek. If you have a question, you're welcome to call us. The Liquor Vault on-air line is 219-362-0522. You can also text me now. The text line is back. Everyone rejoice. You can text. I don't know why people use the phone anymore. Why not just text everything, right? All right, so we've got a caller. Let's get to our first caller. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show. Thanks for calling. What's your question for our guest today?
I really don't have a question related to their specific services.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say that I am a senior citizen. I'm a veteran, and I have a disability, but it's not service related. And I've contacted Mr. Pressel, Mr. Bohacek, contacted the governor's office. I live in my own home, but my property taxes have gone up probably at least 100% over the last 5 years. And the only person that ever talked to me was Bohacek, and his response was that 30% of the people in Laporte County are seniors, so where do you expect us to get the money? So I'm just I need help on property tax relief because I don't want to end up in any kind of.
All right, so it got cut off there, but it's a good question, though. I think it's a good segue into all of these things are costing more, right? We've got inflation, we've got all these things. The gentleman here talked about property taxes, and in our work with the PAC Center, we know a lot of seniors that are doing what they can to hold on to their homes, right? And they're one furnace going out away from losing their home, these kind of things. How do you help families, or what do you guys do? And Steve, you can answer this one. For people like this that are struggling, maybe they're not seniors, but they have families, and they're trying to do what they can. But costs for families that are navigating children or family members with disabilities, costs are higher than normal families. I mean, they're just higher. And so either one of you can answer it, but what would you tell him?
Well, and I think being in the community action, and I worked for the Area Agency on Aging, and so what I will say is for seniors who are struggling, my first kind of suggestion would be to reach out to your Area Agency on Aging. And Laporte County, that's Real Services. And they do a great job. So those services are provided through Older American Act funding, which is federal funding. And so you can trust them. There's no cost to a lot of their for example, home delivered meal services, property taxes. I am not the expert on that, but I know that when you can pay for your medication, you can pay for your food, you can pay for the other things in life. You mentioned a furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, the community action agencies here, again in LaPorte County, that's going to be North Central. They would have an emergency assistance program and a weatherization program. And if you can get on those lists, which it should be fairly easy contacting them, they can help to reduce your burden, your cost burden in other areas, so that you have extra money to spend on those necessities that may or may not come up. In terms of helping our individuals with disabilities, there are a lot of programs that we sort of work through. Most of our seniors are on Medicaid and Medicare, and so we can help through that.
Yep.
Offer day services. So there is a community in Michigan City that cares about our folks, cares about our seniors, cares about our families, and sometimes I think it's difficult just to know and get the access to it. So I think I would start 211 is a number you can call. That's statewide. They give Health and Human Services information, and then keep talking to your legislators too.
Yep. And Real Services number, I did look that up for you. If you do want to call that, it's 219-324-4199. And hopefully, maybe again, sometimes you have to call a couple people, and then you finally find the one that can help. So, and I always apologize for that because it's hard. So I want to talk a little bit about your facility. I went by there the other day as I was going to Michigan City. It's a lot more colorful than it used to be, Steve. There's a lot more color. And I know there was a grant given as well by the county out of ARP funds for redeveloping some of your facility in Michigan City. Let's talk about that a little bit. What is your guys' goals for the facility, and what do you do in your facility? Quite frankly, like what is actually happening day to day there?
Okay, in that particular facility, what we do is we have day program services. They're typically right now they're classroom-based services. So we develop a curriculum for training the folks on whatever area that they might need. One of our unique things going on right now is a staff approached me last year about getting chickens. So we started a poultry project there. And what the individuals did is they got them as chicks. They learned how to care for them as chicks, and they've raised them. So now they're full-fledged chickens. They take care of the coop. They take care of the egg collection. They make sure they have water. So it's really been a good learning experience for them. And we're actually trying to work with the 4-H program to see if we can find some way to get them involved in 4-H so that they can go through those 4-H projects.
If we have any 4-H people listening, it'd be great to contact Paladin. That'd be a fun, I think, combination there. And some of the other things you guys are working on that you were telling me, Melissa, what are some of the future goals for that facility that you'd like to see?
Yeah, so we have a vision. When you walk in, so the outside looks amazing, and that's something that, give credit to Steve and the marketing person that was working there with Steve prior to my arrival. And so we, first of all, wanted to get that awareness. We wanted people to see that this is a nice, welcoming place. We want the outside and the feeling to match what the love and the feeling is and the inside. Now we need to work on the inside. So we have this sheltered workshop warehouse. We did an auction and got rid of those large pieces of equipment. So I had this conversation with somebody today. There is a lot of big feelings about when Michiana Resources and Paladin stopped doing the sheltered kind of piece work. I have a shirt, and the shirt says, your value isn't determined by your productivity. Mm-hmm. And I love wearing it because it has a lot of, gets people asking me, what does that mean? So a person doesn't have to have a job necessarily to have a meaningful and full life. Mm-hmm. A quality of life is very important. And so what we do is we ask individuals, what is it that you're interested in? What are your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to learn to do? We have a computer lab. We have a music therapy program that we're getting started. We have a mushroom garden that Justin Sewell from I'm a Fungi Mushroom Farm came out, and our individuals were really into it. They drilled holes in the prepared wood, and we're taking the logs out, and we have shiitake and wine caps. So there's a test kitchen in there that we need to develop more. This could be two-sided use. This could be to teach occupational kind of therapy type stuff. Like if I'm living by myself, how do I safely use the microwave? How do I safely use make sure that my food is properly prepared and things like that? Or maybe I want to get a job, like we talked about the individual who works at Popeyes, and always tells me what his favorite sauce is. And so we can help train and support employment through some of those activities that we do during the day program. And a lot of our folks are interested in working in the community. So if there are places in the community that are like, well, I don't have a lot of people, because we know it's hard to find people. Mm-hmm. We know it's hard to hire good people who want to work. we have good people who want to work.
Yep.
And so, it might take a little training. It might take a little patience, but it's well worth it.
And you guys do work with employers to make that happen, right?
Yes.
So, all right, we've got a call. Let's get to that call, and then we'll go to a break. All right. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Thanks for waiting on hold. What's your question for Melissa and Steve from Paladin?
Yeah, you were talking about disabled people, finding homes for them, etc.
Yes.
Aren't there a lot of problems with the federal regulations and landlords or independent people that agree to work with the disabled? Do you know where I'm coming from?
Actually, I don't. I don't think there are any federal regulations that would be different than any other landlord situation.
Then what are the problems with obtaining housing for the disabled? That's what you were talking about earlier.
That's a good question. So essentially I think he's saying, what are the hurdles? Is it a regulatory problem, or what are the hurdles to getting people housing that, people with disabilities, to get them housing? Is it landlords just don't want to? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times people don't want to make their home accessible because if our folks were to move out, it makes it a little more difficult for someone else to move in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the challenges. Or in today's market, the housing market is very high. The supply chain is slow and very expensive. So a lot of landlords, in order to modify a home to make it accessible, it makes it more expensive for the landlord than it would be affordable for the folks that we're working with. So there's a multitude of issues there.
Because you might need a lift, you might need a ramp, you might need something in the bathroom or something, and so it's just easier for the landlords, or less expensive anyway, to not go there.
Go there, right?
All right, we've got Steve Hobby and Melissa Bohacek from Paladin talking about what they do at Paladin, but also just talking about what our community can do also to help people with disabilities, seniors, and families, to support them as well. If you have a question, 219-362-0522, you can call or text me. We're going to take our final break of the day. We'll be right back here on 96.7 The Eagle.
For over 50 years, Laporte has trusted Cannon's automotive service for prompt, efficient, same-day service. And that same Cannon's commitment extends to area businesses who rely on a fleet of one or many to take your goods or service to the customer. Whether it's the truck or trailer that needs maintained or fixed, trust Cannon's Automotive to maximize your productivity with same-day service. Now with 2 Cannon's locations, 710 Tyler Street and 909 Boyd Boulevard.
With Cannon's Automotive, we fix everything.
350 vehicles in stock now at Auto Park Ford. AutoParkFord.com. 350 new and pre-owned vehicles, all at low Auto Park pricing. Brand new F-150s, 250s, Explorers, Edge, Expeditions, Mustangs, Eco Sports, and so much more. In stock now. And get $2,000 off all new car orders. $2,000 off. Plus acres of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all at low Auto Park pricing. Auto Park Ford. AutoParkFord.com. It's not just a dealership, it's an auto park. Come find the exact vehicle you've been looking for today. Brand new Fords in stock now. More arriving daily. And $2,000 off all new car orders. Plus acres of pre-owned vehicles. It's not just a dealership, it's an auto park. Auto Park Ford. In Sturgis, Bremen, and Laporte. AutoParkFord.com. AutoParkFord.com. Discounts on select models. See dealer for details to qualified buyers.
Stuck in a job that sucks? Here's another job opportunity from HometownNewsNow.com.
Are you ready to make some major bread? Join the maintenance team at Lewis Bakeries in Laporte. Starting wages are $26.60 per hour with skill-based pay available and paid formal training. Earn excellent benefits and get every other weekend off. Apply in person at 800 Boyd Boulevard from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
This has been a Jobs Spotlight Extra. Look under Hot Topics at HometownNewsNow.com for job details.
There's more than corn in Indiana. It's the best part of America, and it's right within your reach. It's Indiana Beef.
Are you ready for some fireworks? Indiana Beach will be putting on our fireworks show throughout the month of July. Spend the day having fun with friends and family at Indiana Beach, and then watch the amazing show from our boardwalk as we light up the skies over beautiful Lake Schaefer.
Visit IndianaBeach.com to view the complete fireworks schedule.
See you at the beach.
Dave, you guys built a new deck.
Oh yeah, it was easy.
It's on a bit of a slant, but I can live with that.
Yeah, you think? I thought it looked pretty good.
I don't think that railing's up to code either. So, are we just going to stand here, or can we actually go on it?
Oh no, I don't trust it enough to actually go on it.
No offense to Dave, but if you want the job done right, contact Powerhouse Construction in Laporte. Decks, patios, or kitchen and bath remodels, Powerhouse Construction will ensure your satisfaction. Call 219-380-9981 to book a free estimate. That's 219-380-9981. Powerhouse Construction.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged by reckless digging. So Indiana relies on 811 superheroes like Steve the plumber.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Mary the gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the landscaper.
I dig for a living, but always contact 811.
Prevent damages or injury. Call 811 or go online, indiana811.org.
Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, this station, and the Indiana Broadcast.
Hey, Daddy, what's that?
Well, honey, that's the phone for the Liquor Vault on-air line.
That's a phone? But it's got wires and buttons.
Yeah, phones used to look a little different. When our listeners call 362-0522, we press those buttons to put the callers on sound off or tradio.
But where's the screen so you can see your text messages?
When someone texts 219-362-0522, it actually comes to that computer over there.
Your texts come to a computer? This place is weird.
The Liquor Vault on-air line is the number to call or text for sound off, tradio, or to make a music request on 96.7 The Eagle. Brought to you by the Liquor Vault on Highway 35 in Kingsbury. Call or text the Liquor Vault on-air line 219-362-0522.
Thank you for tuning in to Sound Off. You can now text or email your questions directly to the studio. Call or text 362-0522 or email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is Sound Off.
Welcome back to our final segment of Sound Off. We've got the CEO, Steve Hobby of Paladin, and Melissa Bohacek, who is the Development and Marketing Officer for Paladin. And we've been talking a little bit about Paladin and our nonprofit spotlight today. I want to talk about something, though, before we end it, and we're going to talk a little bit about Disability Pride Month, these kind of things. I was reading an article as I was preparing for the show, and NPR, they had obtained something from the Department of Justice, which was data on sex crimes. And the results show that people with intellectual disabilities, women and men, are the victims of sexual assaults at rates more than 7 times more than people without disabilities. It's one of the highest rates of sexual assault of any group in America, and it's hardly talked about at all. Mm-hmm. How important is it for organizations like you, and there are some others, but that daily check-in and that regular, because again, it is a group that sometimes can't always articulate, that can't always sometimes, it could be a trust thing, just like, it is with some children. How important is it for that to happen? And also, what does Paladin do to make sure that, again, all of your staff and volunteers are helping and not hurting?
Right. It's a really good question. And one of the biggest things, too, is the folks don't realize they're being abused. Mm-hmm. And so they think it's okay. Somebody's made it feel like it's okay. So one of the focus that has been going on within agencies is teaching the individuals what is appropriate and what is not appropriate so that they understand, well, no, I am being abused. So for Paladin, what we're doing is we're working with Doombrook, and we're going to be doing some specific sexuality training with them to let them know that if something occurs, they need to let people know because it is not okay. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited about putting that in place. And we work with a behavioral clinician from another organization that I know put together as specific sexuality training for folks. So she's doing a lot of work with her kiddos and her adults that she's working with. So a lot of focus is there, making sure that abuse doesn't occur.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, too, like you said, when people are isolated and when people don't have a voice, that check-in, that one person who sets eyes and says, hey, you seem off today. What's going on? Or I've noticed a bruise, or I've noticed something's not right. So the more we can expand people's social network and the people who care about them, the better it is. The more transparency there is, and you can talk about it. Somebody's going to notice. And we have, I know, through Head Start and Imagination Station, again, they're mandatory reporters.
Sure.
They have all of those policies that are set in place. And I'm also involved with the Special Olympics of Laporte County. They have a very thorough training module that all volunteers have to go through. And so just again, I'm going to do a little shout out for Laporte County Special Olympics. It's all of Laporte County. We are under new management, so it's going to be really great. We're kind of building this year. We're doing softball and bowling in the late August. So
That's
get
fine.
registered, give us a call. We can help out.
All right, so July is Disability Pride Month. Can you explain a little bit, Melissa, about a Disability Pride Month, but it's also a special anniversary for Paladin. Can you explain a little bit what you guys will be doing there?
Yes, we're really excited about Disability Pride Month. Disability Pride Month is in July. We know Pride Month for the LGBTQ plus community is in June, and so hopefully you made it out to Michigan City. It was a really great time there. But similarly, we want to send the message that because individuals with disabilities may appear to be different, it's not a bad thing. Whether you have a neurodiversity, perhaps you have an intellectual and invisible disability, a physical disability, the awareness and the pride in the person that you are and the things that you can do, we want to share that. That's what we want to kind of accomplish during Disability Pride Month. It started in 1990 when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed that prohibits people from discriminating against people with disabilities.
And you have some events as well, right?
We do. I'm going to let Steve talk about the Paladin Day, which is very exciting.
Paladin Day is July 1st. And what it is, we're celebrating the day that we merged from Parents and Friends and Michiana Resources into Paladin. So it's an all-day celebration. We have multiple activities that we do throughout the day. Last year we had somebody come in and help prepare the food. This year we don't have anybody, so they tapped me to do it. So I'll be out there at the grill. Yes. Hopefully it's a cool day. Otherwise I'll be a sweaty mess. But we're really excited, and it's going to kick off our Disability Pride Week.
And finally, Steve, I want to ask, because again, we might have some listeners and maybe they've got a sibling or a family member or a child that's living with a disability, and they don't know enough about Paladin, or they don't know if you guys have any services for them. How can people connect with you guys, and how can people reach out? Do they just call? What do they do?
People can call, they can email. What'll happen is or they can even reach out. There's a way to reach out through our website. We just have a general contact information through our website. And I encourage people to reach out, because what I have found in my years of experience is families wait too late. And then it's a significant life occurrence happens and they need that support and they need it tomorrow and it's not there. It takes a little time to get in place. So I encourage folks to start having those conversations. They're not easy. It's just like any of us when our kids are getting ready to move out. You're like, no, they're not ready. I want to bring them back. That's how a lot of our families are as well. And I understand that. I'm a parent. But it is very important, because as parents, we're not going to be around forever. And to set up those supports early will make them very much established and running well. So if you're not around to watch, your child or loved one is taken care of.
And I would imagine too, Melissa, as a parent with a child with a disability, the network you can also build, right? As a parent, as a co-parent, and things like this, there's these other residual things that can happen by being involved in programs like this, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. The disability moms kind of community in Laporte is really strong. A lot of my friends are parents with kiddos that have, and adults now. I have to remember that my daughter is going to be 21 in July. So
still your kiddo, but not necessarily a kiddo anymore. Yep.
Yeah, it's hard. So anyway, it's just a really great network, and to get tapped in. Plus, so we waited a long time before we got services for our daughter, and when we did, was opened to this kind of magical network where I suddenly had a behavior management person to talk things through that, we're like, we'll handle it. It's fine. We're educated. We know what we're doing. But here are the experts who actually know what they're doing. They have plans. And if anything, you have someone to talk to.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes the most powerful thing is to know you're not alone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for both being on here. I want to thank you so much for listening. We're going to be back here on Monday. This next week, have another show for you. I want to thank Paladin for coming in for this month's Nonprofit Spotlight. We'll get back to all the fun politics and all the things that are happening. I know there's news headlines happening all around us right now. But this week, find some time to be good to yourself and be good to others.